Back to the EU Minor Close Qualifier for Starladder Major 2019. My name is Dinko. I'm going to be joined by Hawker for this one. You've got a very exciting match coming up. It's MouseSports taking on OpTic. Now, OpTic have got a new player in their ranks. It's going to be Tessis, Alex, as we move into the pistol. We'll see what he's made of.
And let's see if he gets involved early in this one. Probably not, because he's over on the B site, whereas MouseSports are going to move straight in towards A, and there is no one here from OpTic. The Danes are going to have to play for retake. They do at least have the defuse kit. They have some nades in the hands of Config as well, but that bomb will be planted. Oh, just in time. MSL gets the kill through the smoke.
Yeah, Carrigan, he will fall. Another retake attempt coming in from OpTic. Battle of the in-game leaders here, the Danish in-game leaders, MSL versus Carrigan, and MSL's got another headshot. Tessis gets one on the Frozen, and it's falling apart here from MouseSports, but they'll try and hold on. They'll try and get it done, but it's all on Rops. A 1v4 as Refresh looks back over towards Palace. Rops will be finished off, and it's 1-0 OpTic. They find the pistol, and MSL with 2 crucial kills.
And MSL's fragging has definitely improved recently on this OpTic side. He's actually taking over as the primary AWPer as well. And I think that's mainly because this OpTic team have very few players capable of picking up that AWP. I was looking to see if they ever run a double AWP setup, and I think the player with the second most AWP kills in the last few months for OpTic was Refresh with 6 AWP kills. So they basically never run that double AWP. It's up to MSL to do a lot of the heavy lifting on towards the sniping, but in this round, Rops has got an AK instantly removed. Nice couple of kills in towards mid, and that one rifle this T side have bought is not going to do anything for them.
Well, Frozen on 7 HP, Chris J. He'll be the last man standing. There'll be Config coming on him. And I want to talk a little bit more about Config and Rops. They're from 2 different teams, but it seems like the 2 in-game leaders, the 2 Danish in-game leaders, have been sort of the key to unlock the potential in these players again. Because Config, you know, going through with Snappy's team, sort of him being the leader, wasn't really performing at the level we expect from Config. And Rops actually started to drop off towards the end of the MouseSports era. And Carrigan seems to have elevated his skill level as well. It's pretty good to see that the 2 players with so much potential are finally sort of rising again.
Yeah, Rops has definitely had a real resurgence to form. He was excellent in that opening game. It was against virtus.pro, but MSL putting punishments on towards Carrigan. Again, that battle of the in-game leaders goes the way of MSL in terms of the individual duels. Frozen moving forwards, but he makes noise. MSL with his 2nd kill through the smoke in the round. Chris J eventually gets 1 kill back, but MouseSports need a little bit more.
Man advantage on the CT side. Walksick starting to come out through the connector, and there's the tapping headshot off towards Config. They'll be back into the 3v3, Alex, and there's a chance here the MouseSports might just overwhelm this bomb site. Currently underneath the wood is Nico. He'll be trying to hold off. The FAMAS will take away the bomb. That's Chris J falling, but the trade for Rops comes in from Palace. He'll just run away as well. Walksick coming through connector, able to drop MSL, but Tessis, the new kid on the block, getting it done onto Walksick. But it's a 1v1 up against Rops.
Bomb planted safely on the site. Lots of nades for Tessis, but Rops waits in the open. 1 tap straight to the face of Tessis. Such a sick shot there from Rops, and that's the kind of skill that we were talking about. He has been on form recently, ever since Carrigan came into this roster, and he finds MouseSports their 1st round win. And if you're Tessis, you're just sitting there thinking, what the hell could I have done? That's just a really good shot. There's nothing you can do against that.
There really isn't. Rops just has that sort of skill, and he's definitely been excellent in the clutches, in particular on Mirage. You think back to IEM Sydney, how many clutches did he have? He's just incredible plays. And Config, he'll start things off early for OpTic, just pushing through the smoke. Frozen, he's going to be finished off, and it's going to be into the 4v5. Man advantage for OpTic to play with here.
And you were talking about Config's return to form recently since MSL has joined this roster. He was easily top of the scoreboard for OpTic in their opening game of this qualifier up against Gamer Legion. And then MSL, I think, was the 2nd top fragger for OpTic. So that just goes to show that MSL has really turned it up in terms of his individual ability. And I'm so surprised as well that Config has continued to play really aggressive. I'm maybe not surprised at that, but oftentimes I find him playing entry on the T side. It's working much better now that MSL is in the roster. They're setting up config much more easily to get those opening kills to go his way. And MouseSports begin to move into A. Great reactions from OpTic to open things up.
Yeah, Robs as well, finding success in Palace. This is exactly how the last round went as well. Tessa's config and Nico, they have to make this happen. A 3v4 retake scenario. The bomb gets planted for short. And look, there's a player there, Carrigan. Up on short from MouseSports. This is looking relatively strong. OpTic are going to have to try and get back in. Chris J's got the headshot. Config able to pull one back, but Chris J is just holding them all off. The triple kill collected. And MouseSports will get themselves another round.
Just running over that A bomb site. It's as simple as that for MouseSports, really just relying on those individuals to open things up. OpTic isn't needing to have the AWP in his hands either. He's landing shots with the AK. Chris J and Rops also chiming in. And then one of the nice things about this MouseSports lineup is they have enough skill to the point where the new kid on the block, Frozen, doesn't have to always show up as much. The rest of the team can sometimes carry him through if he's maybe having a bad game. He's obviously a young player, so sometimes that can definitely come through when you've got a 16-year-old on your team. He's got a lot of time to develop, and I think MouseSports will be a good place for him to grow as a player, especially under the leadership of Carrigan.
Yeah, the question beside Frozen was, will he be able to deliver on a big stage? We know he has got potential, but can he do it against the best teams in the world? And he proved that he can definitely do it. And straight away, MouseSports have found success, not only in this round, but at their recent events as well. You think back, they've already won a DreamHack Open. You know, that's a straight away a big load of success for MouseSports. And I think that's something that's quite common with Carrigan's teams, right? You know, they have this instant turnaround, and it's always nice to see.
Again, Rops just tapping away, not to the head this time. Chest shots are good enough to remove MSL from the round. Frozen fades away from mid, making sure that he stays alive. And MouseSports have got all AKs in this one, so if possible, they would like to save all those guns, just to make sure they don't have to rebuy that expensive rifle. Refresh moving forwards. Can't really find the angle to work with. Peek from OpTic isn't really necessary, and he decides, you know what, I'm fine falling back. MouseSports have got T-spawn completely under their control, so as long as they just play safe here, they should be good to save these AKs. And OpTic move towards the site, but I don't think they've got time to do anything here. Rops is forced forwards. That fake defuse actually baits him out, so the AK is lost, but surely they'll die to the bomb. Yeah, they can't save that AK. Both OpTic players go down with the ship. MouseSports lose a single rifle, but nothing too bad against them there.
Yeah, well, OpTic have risen again. They've got money in the bank this time for a buy to come through. It's going to be every player on a rifle. They've gone for the majority of the AUG. So even with the changes back to adding some extra dollars onto the AUG price, they still come through. So AUG is definitely going to stay here in Counter-Strike's meta. It's definitely a great weapon for these long-range angles on the CT side. And it kind of makes the CT side a little heavier this time, especially on a map like Mirage. You have so many little linear angles that the AUG is just going to be so powerful in. So MouseSports are going to have to deal with that. And they have got the early pick onto Refresh. Bloxic will fall back. And MouseSports, they maintain it. They don't lose the advantage straight away. Oh no, that's a bit of a oof flash.
Yeah, fluffed flashbang, but Rops eventually gets the flash assist on the second time of asking. Tesses hunted down at the back of the bomb site. Chris J, entry work is so good from him. 3 kills in towards B. Another round where he makes all the difference on the entries. And good awareness from MSL, gets the kill in reply. And one of the problems so far for OpTic has been that lack of AWP. They couldn't afford it into this round, so MSL saving the AWP would be nice, but the question is, can the rest of his team buy around that AWP? And I guess the other question is, can they stop Chris J from finding all these entries?
It's definitely looking like MouseSports are prepared for this one. They're looking very solid and ready to go. It is their map pick after all, Alex. This is the one MouseSports wanted to go towards. The next up will be Nuke. We haven't really talked about the video too much, but Nuke's a map that I feel like pretty much every Danish team is pretty solid on.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to seeing OpTic on that one. And if we need it, we go to Inferno. So this is going to be a very spicy best of 3.
I'm always going to be impressed when a team can take, for example here, a 4-2 lead despite two of the players literally getting 0 kills. That's always impressive to me.
Oh, definitely. It just shows that there is such a high individual level across 3 players that it's enough to get them the round wins, and we've talked about that. And even if Frozen and Carrigan do eventually step up, that's another asset or a facet for MouseSports to work with. Something they can improve on even further, but that's a good opening shot from OpTic. So close to the kill, but only 5 HP away from doing it.
This is where the lack of secondary AWPer could be a problem. MSL has to stick with the AWP low on health. He doesn't want to give it to a teammate just yet. I wonder if Config will take it away from him. No, it's Nico, sorry, who was there. Config's already dead. But yeah, MSL, he can stick with the AWP being low on health. I guess it's still a possibility. Push through Palace from Refresh, but Frozen is watching for it. Refresh doesn't push too early, but that flank could be well timed depending on when MouseSports decide to move into A. The smoke is being lined up, and Refresh continues to wait patiently. Frozen is close behind, but he might be in trouble. There it is, the execution from behind.
Frozen will fall. MSL gets one as well. Off camera, and he gets a double kill. Refresh able to drop Rops. That's now Woxic into the 1v4. AWP in his hands. The bomb is in the middle of the bomb site, and surrounding it are OpTic. They're just swarming this bomb, and Woxic, he's going to try and pull this one off. He's got the first kill on the Tessus. Flashbang goes over the top. He'll walk into the open, and MSL low HP, but it's still the shot for Woxic on the Nico. Woxic could realistically pull this off. Both players are low, but Woxic's got the op, so it doesn't exactly matter too much here. Unless he pulls out the pistol, but Refresh blanking through the connector. Woxic's not really aware of this, and Refresh will take him away. It's a triple kill from Refresh, 2 from MSL. Well played there from OpTic.
Yeah, nice round from Refresh. Gets the timing just right in on the flank. It's good to see him having impact as well. And, oh, okay, we've got a double AWP setup from OpTic. I was saying that no one has really been willing to take that second AWP for this OpTic team. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, I think TessS literally has 2 kills with the AWP in the last 3 months. So this is a big switch up, not something I was expecting to see. Let's see if TessS can find success. The B apps position is definitely one you can play with the AWP. Trying to find the angle. Chris J caught off guard. Nice work from TessS to deny Chris J any of those entries that we've seen so often from him.
Well, Refresh standing in the corner. He will take the headshot onto Rops. And it'll be a 2-man advantage here for OpTic. The troops of MouseSports are about to try and charge in towards the B bomb site, and OpTic are definitely looking like a team that are not going to give up the ghost. They are playing very well at the start of this first half. MouseSports have been stopped in their tracks, and perhaps, you know, we talked about maybe MouseSports getting those 4 runs with only 3 players actually doing anything. But it might not be enough now, because OpTic is starting to wake up. Tessus getting a kill on the Carrigan. Looking back up towards the top of the apartments, and there it is, onto Woxic. Last man standing is Frozen. And he will start to come on in. 40 seconds, shot from all different angles. This is just horrible. It's so difficult to deal with. He's under so much pressure, and eventually he will be dropped by Config. Not a single kill from MouseSports in round 8.
A little too easy for TessS in that round.
Yeah.
He just uses the AWP like a turret, and no real nades against him, no real trade attempts in time from MouseSports. Even though TessS isn't someone who normally takes that AWP, it's pretty easy for him to find those frags. And again, you can see TessS, after taking the AWP for just 1 round over towards B, throws it over to Refresh in round number 9. So, as I was kind of saying, there's no clear secondary AWPer on this OpTic lineup. This time, Refresh will take that second AWP over towards A. MSL will attempt to use his sniper towards mid, but MouseSports are literally on a full eco. 5 Glocks, no nades. If they win this round, Dinko, I don't know what I'll do. I'll do something.
Eat your hat. Is that not the is not the usual
I said that
saying?
earlier. I've said that one before. I could do
What are you
that.
going to eat then?
I'll eat... I don't know. I can't think of anything.
You're
It's too
horrible
late
at
in the
this,
day.
Alex.
I'm really bad. You've
You're
put
not
me
a
under
creative
pressure,
genius.
Dinko.
Well, we don't have a creative genius in our midst, but we have got MSL, who will take away Woxic. He's dropped to 3 HP and has to fall away from the stairs. He'll look back up towards Palace, and that is where Carrigan stands. The rest of MouseSports trying to get in towards the A-bomb site, but I think they might all meet the same sticky fate as MSL wants these kills. That's the second. Nico coming on through, And there it is. Refresh assists as well with a wall buying onto Chris J.
What? He threw the AWP away. Why did Refresh throw the AWP away?
Well, they already have one, so...
I guess he doesn't want the secondary AWP, yeah.
No. That's exactly... Yeah, that comes back to what you've been really saying, is no one really wants to double op here on OpTic. So they decided to go with MSL, and just that's the only op they have.
Yeah, it's so weird to see them just throw the AWP away at the end of the round, but I guess that's safer than keeping it on the map.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Fair enough.
Because MouseSports, they can't afford one, but they'd love to get one in their hands of OpTic.
Fair enough. It does limit them slightly, though, only having the one AWP. You do see double AWP setups quite often on Mirage. Quick A play from MouseSports, though. Contact play into A. They've got the smokes in position, but Refresh there to stop them. 2 quick kills. Oh, there's the third from Refresh. The flash assist coming through in full force from MSL. Nico is also in on this site. MouseSports absolutely shut down over towards A. Again, good impacts from Refresh. And Rops is not going to be winning this. Config closes out the round, and OpTic have really turned this around.
Yeah, well, that's why Refresh threw away the AWP, Alex. 3 kills coming in on the AUG as they move in towards the A bomb site. Very well played from Sandwich. Usually you look at that, right, and it can be a one and done. You get 1 kill, but you're dropped immediately. But Refresh makes it happen onto multiple players, and he's on 11 kills, 4 deaths. Top of the scoreboard for his team. There's not much of a disparity across the board in comparison to that of MouseSports, and Frozen and Karrigan are still yet to get a single kill. This is not looking too great for them. Karrigan, he has a chance here, but Nico will take him away.
Couple of special agents on the MouseSports side, you could say. Very special.
It's not secret agent, Alex.
Oh, is it? I thought it was... Oh, yeah, I'm dumb.
The special agents.
Special agents.
Maybe they're special secret agents, Alex.
Yeah. You know, that's my new thing, okay? Special agents.
You're a special one, Alex.
Exactly. Alex is special agent. Ooh. That's a special shot from Rops. Gets the opening onto A. TSS in with the trade over on the other side of the map. MouseSports only had the pistols here, so there wasn't much likely, but Frozen is on the board. Good shot onto Refresh. Sadly, though, Config is not too far behind, ready to avenge his teammates. And Rops landed that one nice shot earlier, but he needs to land a couple more here. Nice shot onto the second. Rops trying to do the damage, but the bomb has to be recovered, and that's the biggest problem.
Well, Config, he'll just stand, he'll take the kill, and it's easy stuff for OpTic. I have to say, they're impressing me so far on the CT side. OpTic are a team, we've kind of talked about MouseSports, right? We've seen how many lands they've been to with this new roster. We've seen them tried and tested. We haven't really seen OpTic at too many tournaments. This is a good chance for them to make the minor, to get to the minor, show us what they're made of there, and if they can make it to the major, that's going to be a really positive sign moving forward. Because OpTic have tried, and they've tried as an organization to get a good CSGO team, and they just have not been able to get one that works. They've tried everything. They literally had that weird combination with Shazam and Stanislaw thrown in with the 3 Danes, and just tried to make that work, and it obviously didn't happen. Now they brought it back to full Danish, and we've got a pretty solid roster here on paper. They've just got to get that experience and try and prove it to us.
And as you were saying, the even kill distribution, I think, is really important for OpTic. Especially MSL has much improved his fragging, as I've been pointing out, and that's a big part of why OpTic have been successful. Refresh has also had some excellent impact here at the start of Mirage. They've definitely got players that can step up, and the team play is working well for them. Look at those nades. Frozen forced away from mid. Not much he can do there, but there's a big gap in the smoke. OpTic taking mid away from MouseSports early, and MSL spots the shoulder, doesn't get baited. Nice shot from MSL at the start of the round, and as soon as OpTic get the man advantage, they realize they can sit back and play it safe.
Well, Refresh nearly burnt on to nothing. He will stay alive on 9 HP. At this point, MouseSports are about to bring their troops in towards the A bomb site. Flashing over the top, utility used on in. And Woxy coming in from ramp. Rops just on Tetris. MouseSports should realistically, if they use your utility effectively, you should get this bomb site. Smoke still alive on Karrigan. Smoke for top connector will eventually fade. And that will allow the information to start flowing again through OpTic, but the bomb needs to get planted. Karrigan has used the final smoke to cover off jungle. It's not perfect. There's definitely a big gap in it, and so the bomb will have to go forward. They'll cover off CED. They've sent Carrigan in. Go plant that. We'll see if we can hold on to it. It is the dangerous mission, but Carrigan pulls it off. It's WOXIC looking towards the top of the stairs. Connects onto MSL. 4v4 yet again. Odds again even. As MouseSports try and sink their teeth deep in towards the A bomb site. WOXIC looking for the kill over towards the top of the stairs, but Config, he's done damage. He'll look back towards ramp with a headshot on the Carrigan. Refresh finds one as well. Frozen will finally get another kill. Tessis will drop him immediately upon asking, and WOXIC baited out of the palace. Job done for OpTic. The defuse comes through. It's 8-4. They've already won the half, and things are looking very good for the Danes indeed.
Again, we've been talking about how MSL's fragging has improved. Over on the other side of things, the in-game leader on the MouseSports side, Carrigan, I mean, you saw there, he's not exactly in a position to get kills when he's planting the bomb like that, but he's not got a single kill to his name up until this point of the game. Round 13, this top mid smoke comes into effect, trying to take away that portion of the map from MouseSports, and again, they will be successful in doing so. Carrigan has realized that maybe the mid control, maybe the slower rounds haven't been working, so he decides to call for a quick B play, putting pressure on the new man, Tesses, to try to hold alongside Config. Nice reposition from Tesses. Config in with the opening and the follow-up. AK put to use, and MouseSports look nervous right now. They don't want to commit to this B site, but they have to go forwards, and it's not working out for them. Kill after kill goes the way of OpTic. Frozen in with one, but he needed to do a hell of a lot more, and he is unable to deliver. It's only Rops left alive. Damage done. There's the kill. 3 more players against him, though, and it's not going to be easy to find them.
Well, it's just not looking too great here for MouseSports. The start looked well. You know, they start looked pretty good, I have to say. But since then, OpTic, this has been lights out from them, I have to say. And again, a much more team effort, a team performance coming in from OpTic, which is really nice to see, I have to say, because how often have we seen OpTic just not perform very well, Alex? They've got such a great organization behind them. They've got such a solid roster on paper. You've got individuals like Config, MSL, the in-game leader, Refresh brought in. It's good to see they're trying new talent as well with Tessis. But this is a much better performance from them. MouseSports struggling on their map pick. Coming in with an A execute. Smokes on towards the bomb site. MSL throws some kind of utility, but MouseSports look like they might just get the bomb done.
Looks good for them with the smokes flash through. Frozen running in. Oh no, he turns around. His teammate, I think, was behind him. I don't know what the hell just happened, but the kills end up going the way of OpTic. Tesses in with one. Carrigan recovers the orb, finally doing some damage. Carrigan in with the quad kill. This could be happening. He needs the ace. Nico on the other side fakes the defuse. Carrigan has to spam the smoke, has to spam it, and Nico knows exactly what he's doing. Comes up clutch, but Carrigan made that oh so close.
Considering that's his first kill in the game, and he gets 4 of them in a row, nearly the ace. That is just, he was saving it up for us, Alex. He's already taken over Frozen.
Has he blown his load though in one round?
Yeah, maybe. It wasn't quite satisfactory enough. Didn't get the ace coming through it. And it will be 10-4. OpTic on double figures. Carrigan nearly making it happen, but just that last kill evaded him. And so we move into this one. The last round of the half. OpTic, they could be about to post an 11-4 half.
Molotov bounced back over towards A for OpTic. Thankfully, there was no quick A-ramp aggression. Dumping a few nades early on the CT side, but mid-control goes the way of MouseSports. WOXIC picks up the follow-up frag. MSL is dealt with. That AWP finally coming into play. Both Rops and WOXIC, the players you'd expect to be the standout players for MouseSports, and they've done all the damage at the start of the last round of the half. Only Tesses and Config left, and they have to try to win the round, but it's unlikely, especially with Carrigan landing that reaction shot, proving that he can't only frag in the one round, he gets one here as well.
Perhaps that's a turnaround for Carrigan. Perhaps he starts to think, you know, you have that sort of thing in your head. It's like a mental block. It's kind of similar to the Rider's block, but in CS terms, it's kill block, I guess. You know, you think, oh, I am never going to kill someone. And then you get 4 in one run. You're like, oh, yeah, I remember how to do that.
Yeah.
He gets 4 kills, although Tessis knows how to spray transfer, that's for sure. Gets those 2 beautiful kills towards the end, but it doesn't really matter. It was just consolation frying to add to his stats. He's currently on 11 and 9, but it's a 10-5 half. OpTic, they will lead the way by quite a convincing fashion. It could have been even more, but OpTic, they will lose that last one. MouseSports post 5. This pistol, incredibly important for both teams. I think on MouseSports, for a very different reason, they want to try and get this pistol under their belt to try and stay in this game, to try and force the fight here, because moving on to Nuke, that's going to be a difficult one for them, because OpTic are performing very well.
Yeah, as you said, MouseSports map pick here on Mirage, not one that they're performing too well on, though. And you look at some of the recent results for OpTic on this map. They took a loss against Sprout, a loss against Hellraisers, a loss against Aristocracy in double overtime. This is a much improved OpTic here on this map. You can't blame MouseSports for picking it. It's looked like a poor map for MouseSports, or for OpTic rather, but in this round it's Nico in with a couple of kills. Early A aggression pays off for OpTic. They get all the way into jungle, and this retake is not going to be easy. Nice shot from Tesses. MouseSports, even with the kits, have got so much work to do.
Well, that bomb is ticking, and OpTic are looking strong. They've sunk their teeth deep in towards this A bomb site. Tessis will take away Carrigan, and now Rops, the last man alive, into the 1v4. He will be finished off by Refresh, and Rops will not get it done. 11-5 here for OpTic. What a pistol round it is as well. Pretty convincing, I have to say. And this gives them a very solid chance, the best chance, in fact, at building up a solid lead moving into the second half. And obviously already coming into it with a solid lead, this is starting to look very good for this Danish roster.
And remember the last major attempt from MouseSports. Maybe they're just not a team destined for the majors. I mean, we'll wait and see. This is a new lineup. Remember, this is also the upper bracket, so even the loser of this game still has a chance to qualify in a further best of 3. The winner goes straight to the minor, though. That's what both these teams want. And right now it's looking like OpTic should be able to take this first map away. Nice shot, Carrigan. There's the follow-up. He burns alive, but Woxic is there on the rotate, as is Chris J. The scout put to use. MouseSports managed to win that round with the weak buy in only 32 seconds, it said at the end there. That's insane.
Well, Carrigan definitely made that possible with those 2 kills on the Deagle. If he's been quiet at the start of this, he's definitely woken up. This is brilliant from Carrigan. Those 2 kills gave MouseSports a chance into the second half. Chris J finishes it off with some beautiful scout antics. We're very used to seeing that from Chris J after the past couple of years. He's definitely got some skill on that weapon. And here goes Woxic testing his skills on it as well. Not exactly the instant kill, and he will take a little bit on board, but look at Refresh. Let's try and take a Deagle headshot himself, but not quite Carrigan. As Chris J will take him down. Another one from Chris J. Very clean indeed. And if you think about this, Alex, realistically, right? Chris J's like, what, the 3rd best, on paper, maybe 4th best player in terms of individual skill on this team. And he's got an insane level, an insane skill ceiling.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's also a player that is pretty reliable, honestly. Like, he very rarely has a bad game, which I think is what you need as that sort of 3rd or 4th best player on the team. By the way, Chris J, yeah, again, cleaning up, just tapping away. The MP9 finding headshots after headshots. A lot of money built up for Chris J as well. So if he wants to drop an AWP at a later stage, that's definitely an option now.
A lot of kills as well. Top of the scoreboard, 16 and 12. Looking pretty solid at the start of things here, but OpTic, even after winning the pistol, MouseSports showed them something. And we'll be OpTic onto the Deagles. Sorry, the Glocks. No, it'd be better if they're on the Deagles, Alex. They're on the Glocks.
They wish.
Yeah, they wish. The Glocks, not quite the same potential as the Deagles. But we'll see what they can do. As they run up towards Palace, there'll be multiple players charging in there. They'll send one up towards the B side of things, and that will be Config. He's actually going to go through Underpass straight away.
They
just want a waterfall.
Down. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. Nah, just kidding. Just kidding, guys.
That was clean. Rops for 4 kills. No chance for the plant for OpTic. Rops handles the waterfall strategy easy. And that is going to be 11-8. MouseSports still behind. OpTic coming into this with a bye. MouseSports are going to have to show us what they're made of. They keep 2 MP9s in play. There's no real money problems. This is definitely just a bonus.
Yeah, Woxic has got the AWP though, so even though it's a bit of a bonus round, they've got the weaponry available to them, and we all know that Woxic can definitely take over games on his day with the AWP. Push into underpass, MP9 leads the charge, Frozen finds the quick trade. That's why Chris J goes in first with the SMG, so that Frozen can just pre-aim and pre-fire the position. More damage done by Frozen, but he's trapped into underpass, and Nico slowly moves towards him. Nice shot from Nico. Gets the trade back and gives OpTic the man advantage.
MouseSports looking for the answer, but OpTic currently in a position where they can just dominate this, dictate where this one goes. They're going to be bringing the bomb and multiple players over towards B, and there's only one player there, and it's Carrigan on an MP9, the weakest weapon in play at the moment. He's so close. Really, if he gets dropped here, it might as well be round over. He will get the info, calls for the rotation from his teammates. They're going to come back in. He needs to stay alive. He needs at least one kill, but it will not come through. Nico gets rid of him. Woxic steps in with a frag on the AWP. So there is still a chance here, Alex. But it's got to be flawless here from MouseSports.
Well, MouseSports have got plenty of money left behind, so they could try and do some damage at the end here. They could attempt this if they really wanted to. Both players in towards Kitchen. Woxic hungry for an opening, really searching for the frag right now. But as he moves forwards, the shadow is spotted, and Rops is left with little left to do. Probably going to have to save, and that actually gives the AWP over to OpTic. So while I understand that Woxic wanted to attempt the round win, wanted to try and see if he could maybe do some damage at the end there, all he's ended up doing is giving MSL the AWP. He can save that one over. OpTic don't have to buy the AWP. In fact, OpTic wouldn't have been able to afford the AWP. So that's a nice little difference maker there for the OpTic side. But remember, MouseSports have still got plenty of cash for that buy we were talking about, especially Chris J with all those MP9 kills. He will drop the AWP over into Woxic's hands. So there will be snipers on both sides for round 21. Let's see if those AWPs will end up dueling against each other. As it stands, MSL is looking in towards top mid, and Woxic ready to meet him from connector, but they will slow things down slightly. Neither AWP able to get the angle just yet. MSL on the other side. Woxic doesn't get the better of him. MSL comes out on top, and he spots the second. Oh, MSL over the box, finds another frag. Again, his fragging has been so much improved in these last few months, and he puts the AWP to use there.
That was brilliant from MSL. Wins the AWP battle against Woxic in some of the connector and gets that second kill up towards short as well. Double man advantage here on OpTic. They'll start to bring the troops back over towards the A bomb site. MouseSports have got a bit of a stack on, to be honest, over towards the B side of the map, and it's not exactly the right call here, I'll have to say. So perhaps the save call will come in once they realize the bombs got planted on A.
Yeah, and remember, MSL only has that AWP because Woxic went for that retake at the end of the last round. Like, they literally couldn't have afforded the AWP if that didn't happen. And then he just goes on to win the round for his team. That's crazy. I mean, I assume they win this round.
Yeah,
I think it's a safe assumption.
I think they're gonna save here on MouseSports. I think that's pretty clear at this point on the other end of the map. Those two kills from MSL were enough to really just scare MouseSports to save. You know, they're not really in a great economic position. They've got some cash on two of the players, but I mean, at this point, winning this is unrealistic. So you might as well just save what you've got. OpTic kind of sent Nico rather close, but at this point, they're not really in a position themselves where they can really afford to hunt these weapons. They'd rather hold on to theirs. It's more beneficial they carry over their weapons than take away that of MouseSports. But MSL continuing to main AWP. I mean, we've seen that on North towards the end of his reign there, when they managed to beat Astralis and win DreamHack Stockholm, right? And that definitely... Well, it was Stockholm or Malmo.
Might have been Malmo. Oh, no.
It was
The server
Stockholm.
says it's Stockholm.
Okay. He'll know that.
I trust him.
Big Astralis fan. But yeah, they the North side, they're able to get it done. MSL was obviously a mastermind in cracking Astralis at their prime there. So obviously very good stuff from him. He showed a great showing on the AWP. Sadly, they went on to have the terrible major run, and then MSL just got kicked out, ostracized from the Danish team for a while. But he has returned to the Danish rosters, and it will be OpTic.
How did that smoke bounce back from Frozen in towards mid? Bit awkward, but it won't matter too much. MouseSports have got quite a passive hold in most positions, except for Rops, who has pushed all the way into a ramp. Carrigan is still left alone on B, even with that advanced position from Rops. OpTic haven't had too many worries taking mid control. Those kills from MSL previously have made MouseSports not want to fight for mid. They don't want to go up against this AWP too early. And again, MSL is going to lead the way up through short. A little over a minute left on the clock. And OpTic has got quite a few nades left to work with, but only the one smoke. They used a lot of those early smokes on the mid control. Carrigan gets dealt with. Opening kill found. Chris J trying to force the refrag. He gets one back, but OpTic are moving over towards B, and Frozen finds the angle. AWP of MSL is gone.
Well, refresh. Here's the headshot. Surely comes in on Rops. He plays that one well. Hides up towards the wood. And now Frozen. He will hold across. Refresh comes in towards him. Bomb planted. At this point into the 2v2. MouseSports will be bringing their players on up towards short. AWP collected here by Tessus, who has got that sniper looking down the barrel. Nico will hide behind the bench. At this point, OpTic just want to make sure they don't make any mistakes. Nico picks over the top and connects onto Chris J. Frozen left. And a 1 versus 2, and the time's so far gone. The save call definitely the only option here. Walks away with an AWP, and it will be OpTic gaming on 14-8. This is looking solid for OpTic. You have to remember, this is the map pick of MouseSports. Then the next up will be Nuke. That's a map OpTic have always been pretty good on, and I'm pretty sure they'll be still solid on it moving into the next one. So MouseSports, it's not going to get any easier for them. They have to pull this comeback.
Yeah, even when OpTic had Snappy on the lineup, Nuke was always a map that they could rely on the OpTic side. They were always really good on that one, so you'd expect them to be loving their chances right now. And again, it's so cool to see everyone on OpTic doing their bit. Into round 23, I think we've also got to give credit to Tessus, because he will not be used to playing against this level of opposition. He is holding his own. He's had a couple of important rounds. He's definitely doing some good work for this OpTic lineup. And with a 14-8 lead, they are looking good right now. MouseSports continue with the rifles, except for Carrigan. He's sitting in the smoke. Timing is just right, but in comes the trade. Tessus ready to trade out his teammates. And OpTic are going to be tested on this mid control. Chris J is also moving forwards. Config with a wild spray through, but there's the frag he was looking for. Brought back into a 3v3. And again, OpTic are just spreading across the map, taking fights all over the place. Over towards B, Carrigan is about to be tested. Deagle in hand, he calls for the rotation, and Nico is doing so much here. He's on towards the site, he gets the opening, and the bomb will begin to move towards B.
Woxic and Rops still alive though. 2v3. Woxic moves in. AWP scope. There's Nico. Off of the bench he will go. And 45 seconds left. Refresh pushes through CT. Rops caught up. And on the bomb will be making its way back from the B bomb site. All the way over towards T-spawn. Woxic trying to get through, but Refresh has held the angle. Woxic up towards window. Hoping he can spot someone to go through the underpass, but it will not be. The bombs come back over towards ramp. Config will be the man to plant it.
Refresh heard him drop towards mid. They know that Woxic is here. I'm pretty sure they heard that. Woxic trades it out for the rifle as he attempts to retake, but he's making so much noise. Refresh has absolutely heard this. Woxic goes round the corner. There's a player up close, and it's Refresh in with the headshot. Map point for OpTic. Looking good to steal away MouseSports map pick. And this is not what we were expecting heading into this series, Dinko. MouseSports were pegged as pretty big favorites for this one, but OpTic have looked so solid across the board. This is really impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of strange coming into this. I thought, MouseSports are going to take this series 2-0. I'm going to be honest. That was my prediction coming into this. I don't know if you were along the same lines, but this has been a definite surprise for me, and OpTic could realistically do this. Their buy is much better. MSL has got the opening pick towards Woxic. OpTic will start to put some troops over towards B as well. They're in the driver's seat, Alex, and they're steering it to victory at the moment.
The surprising thing about OpTic's T side is that they've just generally spread across the map and just kind of come out on top in the fights. Mid control has definitely been a big part of that, but oftentimes they are pushing both bomb sites at once and just winning out. This time, though, OpTic are going to begin to group towards B. Carrigan and Frozen here to stop them. Carrigan in towards short is dealt with. MSL puts him down. The AWP continues to find success, and Frozen has to anchor it, but MSL finds his third of the round. His AWP continues, misses a shot finally. Chris J is going to go down, and this has to be it. Ross will attempt the retake, but it's 16-8 to OpTic. What a showing from them on the pick of MouseSports.
Yeah, this is such a dominant performance from OpTic. You know, they come in here, they win 16-8 on the map pick of MouseSports. They don't even allow double figures on MouseSports. And yes, they got off to a slow start, and Carrigan and Frozen didn't really hit the front counts they were expecting to get. And perhaps MouseSports, if they had a faster